All right. Good afternoon, everyone. MicroCAD's tech team coming to you today to talk to you about Insight. And just to be aware, this is a very brief overview of what Insight is capable of and some of the tools that it does feature. So please feel free to reach out to us if you have more questions about it, if you are interested in training, anything along those lines. So a few reasons that we think you should adopt Insight. First off, it is free with your AEC collection. So who doesn't like free stuff? I know I certainly do. It has multiple BIM integrations, which you may be aware of. So not only does it work with Revit, it also works with Format Pro, which as a slight sidebar is part of your AEC collection and is a great bridge between SketchUp and Revit, if some of you are still using that, which I'm pretty sure you are. There is real-time feedback. So you can get your energy costs, conceptual, schematic, all the way to complex models. As much information as you want to feed it, it is going to give you that same amount of information back out. And it's also easy to use. You're not looking for a bunch of dialog boxes and clicks here and there to get what you need. It's very simple. One more housekeeping item. So if you are running Revit 2016 to Revit 2020, it is an additional download, just to be aware of that. If you have already moved to Revit 2021, it is already built in. So with that, let's jump into Revit and start looking at this information. So within Revit, your Insight information is going to live on the Analyze tab. So within here, you will see the Energy Optimization panel as well as the Insight panel. So one of the key things in dealing with any Insight and energy optimization is looking at your location and defining where that is. Because of course, if you're in Maine, you're going to have one sort of weather system. And if you're in Florida, you're going to have something completely different. So location, location, location. It's important even when it comes to Insight. Going down the road, delete energy model or create energy model, as I already have one in here. You have your system analysis. So this can generate a whole host of reports for you. One of the ones you are seeing in the background of my screen at this time. Generate your energy analytical model and any of the settings that come with that. And then optimize. You can access the energy information that has been calculated for you and look at some different outcomes and some different settings to see how you can optimize your building and get some of those costs down. Our lighting and solar analysis take place within Revit itself. Solar, of course, you're going to need to be in 3D and have that location set, especially for that project versus true north. Same goes for the lighting. Now, the last aspect when it comes to Insight is the web browser information. So you'll see here, I already have one brought up. Let me go back to the home screen real quick for that. So if you bring it up in here, it's taking a little second, you will see everything. In this instance, I have it uncategorized. You can certainly dial that down and have multiple buildings within a group, multiple iterations of a building. Kind of the possibilities are endless. So if I click on one of these here, you'll see the name of my project that I have been working on. And up here in the top left of your screen is the average cost of your building per year. So currently at its settings, it would cost the building owner $21.4 per square, I believe it's in meters, per year. So just to be aware of that. Down here, of course, is a whole host of options to fly around, look at your building, measure items, explode them if you need to. And then we're going to come down to all of our individual panels here. And these do go quite far if you see my little scroll bar here. So looking at this one, here's our building orientation. If we use our little flip arrow, you can see this brings up a whole host of degrees that we can look at. In this instance, changing the orientation of our building isn't going to do much, but in some instances, it very well could. You can use this to then dial down very specifically to look at perhaps what is dim, what is at your building, or perhaps the smallest item of rotation. And you can see that it has ever so slightly started to drop the cost per year. A couple more things I want to point out. Our orange face isn't, it's an okay little color. There is red. We certainly don't want anyone to be in the red. And then there is green. And the green is indicating that you are meeting the Architecture 2030 challenge. So if you aren't familiar with that, I certainly encourage you to look at it. That's what this little triangle indicates. Our average cost mean, that is where our benchmark is. And our little rectangle up here is ASHRAE 90.1, which I know a lot of buildings are based upon. So your building will tell you approximately where you're at. And with all these panels, you can certainly come in here and start editing them and helping your building get just a little bit more affordable. If we look at our southern walls, you can see how the exposure can certainly grow with that number. So with that, that is a very brief overview of Insight. If you have any more questions, please reach out to us. We do offer training on this, whether it is lunch and learns or something a little bit longer. So hope you all start using Insight. It's a very powerful tool that I encourage everyone to look at. Thanks and have a great day.